Hey, so I'm going to go over how to basically create an endpoint from scratch, or a full endpoint grouping, and kind of go through the whole thought process and what's involved there. Um, so kind of to explain a little bit what the thought process is. What we're going to be doing is we're going to basically, there's like a test, data drawing, but whatever. So we have a test, right? So the test is a separate project, and then we have the model. Okay, what a model is effectively the database table. Okay, right. So here, all right, and then we have the payload, which I'm gonna. This is just arbitrary terminology I'm using, and this is the basically the raw JSON from Apex. Okay. So what we have, what's going on here is effectively what you do is, oh, also I should mention this controller, right? Um, this is the basically the endpoint. So the endpoint. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be basically adding the local market endpoint. So what's going to happen is we have Apex over here, right? And what it's going to do is it's going to push the payload. So it's going to push a payload, a raw JSON from Apex to the controller. And then the controller is going to interpret it and basically generate a model. And it's going to push it to that table in the database. Okay, so what test is going to do is we're going to effectively the test itself. We're going to actually start here because that's how test-driven development works. But it's optional, really. But what we're going to do is we're going to use this payload, like sample payloads, to basically invoke the controller to do this process. Okay, so we're going to start the test layer, and we're doing local market again, as I mentioned. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go to the integration tests. So I'm going to go add, I'm going to do local market. And for this, I'm actually going to bring up the currency one as a test, as like a sample, so I can so I have like a reference. But effectively, public class currency, and then this is the boilerplate here. And what this does is this is going to effectively launch the entire API REST server, so that and it's going to do it once per test run. You kind of can ignore that. This snippet here, which I'm actually going to use as well, is a way to specify a priority. So what a test priority is like, hey, the order in which tests run. So I'm going to throw that in there as well. So this bit right here, right, is kind of all boilerplate as well. So what we're doing, copy pasting, I'm going to make this local market. This is going to just use all sorts of stuff. This we're going to actually change to local market test data folder. And I don't know what this is yet. So I'm going to do that time big. So now that I've kind of looked at this, let's take a quick step back. We need to actually see what the data looks like. Okay, so what I have on FIOAPI is there's this thing called this tamper monkey script. Basically, you should copy paste this to tamper monkey, preferably in Chrome, because there's issues with cross-site reference, whatever that is called. I always forget what it's called, but yeah, just basically do it in Chrome, and you run it, and what happens is it's going to invoke the debug controller, which does all sorts of crazy hacktastic magic, and generate payload example data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this guy right here, which is my empty screen. It's ASD, yeah, whatever. And I'm going to launch FIOAPI first. It's going to pop up Chrome because that is it's on the other screen here. And then I'm going to pop this guy open. I have the tamper monkey script already prepped here, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, I don't know, some planets actually. So let's do this. Okay, I'm going to pull this, and we'll just grab like the starter planets or fertile planets, whatever, local market. So let's go by fertility. Okay, so we got Etherwind, which is KW. So I'm going to do that. LM. So I got an LM payload example. So if I go back to FIOAPI, right, and I go to debug payloads, I need to find it. So it looks like it's path local markets. What's this guy look like? Available ad types. It's like a template for, hey, this is the local market data for this place. I don't think we necessarily need it, but let's see. It's going to say, here are the ads. So quantity null, this looks like a shipment. Yeah, it's a shipping. Yeah, okay, so this is the one we want, right? We want this path local markets ads payload. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm basically going to get a bunch of data. And what I'm going to do is actually, let's just use the map. Basically, you're just going to start clicking on local markets. So I want local markets. Boop, boop. Just get a ton of data. Oh, crap, it's not doing it. Okay, so I have to actually click the local markets. Boo. Alright, we have some empty ones. That's nice, I guess. I should get like that named planet, shouldn't I? Okay, local market, Ice Station Alpha, nothing. Alright, let's get stuff from... Okay, so... Nothing. Nothing. Demos. Okay, so it's going to have a bunch. Local market. Where's Antares? Antares is a jump away, isn't it? Or not? Okay, Nike. Cool. Proxyon. Yep. Okay. Basically, just getting a bunch of data. Okay. So here's go to ones here. There we go. Okay, so I have a bunch of data. So now if I go back, I go to the debug. So I have a ton more, right? So I have a ton of the app. The ads one is the one I care about. So I'm going to stop this. Shift F5 to stop it. So what I'm going to do now, let's close all these, is I'm going to actually generate a payload. So the way you do that is, well, you know what? Actually, let's take a step back. Path, local market ads. Oh, wait, what's that? Oh, that's like the system one. Okay. So take a step back. Let's go here, open containing folder. Copy that. Let's go to the test project. Sample payloads. Local markets. Oh, wait. There's already one. Interesting. Ads. Okay, so we have a bunch in there still. Alright, cool. So I just put some more. So we have a bunch of data now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is let's generate a payload now. So let's close this. Payloads. Local market ad. Okay. And I'm going to delete this public class. I'm going to pop open this guy. I'm going to copy it. And what you do is you do edit, paste special, paste JSON as classes. So it's gonna do it kind of stupidly, right? And this is kind of like there's a lot of cleanup that needs to happen here. So I'm going to, let's go to payloads, and we have a common. So I want to pull this over here. So we have it. So I want to close that. I wish there was a way to do this, but I'm sure there's some hotkey, but whatever, I'll do it for now. So these are the common ones that that I've like basically written already. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do local, what was it, path local market add. So then I'm going to do path local market add payload, message, payload inner, oops, body, origin. I'm not going to think too hard. Well, actually, okay, so now we have to see, okay, address line, right? So entity, so it's just the lines, address. Address is a list of lines. Yeah, so I'm going to use, in place of that, origin, destination, I'm going to do that, right? So I don't need origin or line anymore. I don't need destination or this line. Address, entity, natural ID, name, so I don't need this entity anymore. Where'd it go? Oh, maybe it was used in one of those, in this guy. Yep. Okay, so I don't need these entities anymore. Alright, creator. ID, name, code, type. Yep. So creator is this guy. Don't need that. Address is lines, which we have. Do that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Material and amount is material amount, so I don't need quantity. That goes there. Material. So it's kind of manual process, right? You're going to see what it turns into in a second here. I don't need the material anymore. Cargo weight, cargo volume, market natural ID. What? Why is that an int? I'll take a look in a second. Price. It's going to be amount in currency. Yeah. Okay. So price is amount in currency. Creation time is timestamp. Expiry is timestamp as well. Okay, so I cleaned this up pretty drastically. Yeah. So we gotta fix these. So effectively, what's going to happen is we're going to deserialize the JSON from the game into this object, right? Serialize? Is it serialized? Deserialized? It's deserialized. Okay. So you'll notice there's something called I-validation. Okay. What I-validation does is it allows you to do these attributes, and what it does is it walks every field in the class and makes sure it matches. So what I'm going to do is this across the board. Okay, so that's done. I don't like arrays, so I just tend to do this. So there's that. And some more magic is I want to disable having to document all this because it's kind of unnecessary, but you know, maybe later I will. Yeah, so you have to put that prior warning. So next is I'm going to basically, so we have nullables enabled for FIOAPI. So what that means is that you need to initialize it to some valid value, and you can't just initialize it to null. Whoops, I hit go. You can't do it to null, but you can kind of go exclamation mark, which is like basically, hey, suppress the warning that comes up. So I'm going to do that. Because it's going to get filled. List of string. It's going to get filled out. So cargo weight and cargo volume. That looks wrong. So my guess is that the payload we grabbed, cargo weight. Okay, so yeah, so it's going to be a double. Natural ID, why is that? Oh, that's the natural ID of the ad. Okay, so that's the... Here, that's if you do, let's go, what local market this is, okay, C. So if you do this, the add itself is going to be it's like the slash. So it's like LMA. This is the natural ID. So that is an integer. Okay, so this is a double though. Let's set that to null. Whoops. Natural ID is an int. Status creator type address. Advice. Okay. What is that field? Huh. I'm curious what that actually represents. KW, right? So LMKW833C. I did that wrong. 688C. Okay, so what is advice? Within 3 days? Is that what it is? No. Maybe. Let's see what the next one is. 2 days. 2 days. 10 days. Okay, why is it labeled advice? Okay, so I'm gonna do this. Fulfill, then advice days. That's just so I know. Okay, minimum rating, fine. Expiry, fine. ID, fine. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a bunch of attributes, right? So cargo weight, right? I'm going to do, well, what's the lowest one? PE, right? That PE is the lowest. Okay, I'm just going to say that is the lowest, and I'm going to do double. Let's do, what could feasibly be the largest? 10,000, right? That'd be like craziness, but whatever. You know what? Let's just do 100. Okay, so local market ID is what? Let's pull this bad boy out and just dock it here. Okay, so local market ID is an Apex ID. Okay, so that's that. Natural ID range, let's say it's 0 to max value, can't be negative. I don't actually know that if that's the case, but let's find out. 1, okay, add now found, that's fun. Huh. Maybe it starts at like 10,000? 1,000? Interesting. Well, whatever, I'm just gonna stick with 0 and int max value. Status, okay, fine. Type, fine, we'll have to look. Advice. Range, 1 to, I think 20 is the max, but we'll just say 100, just to be on the safe side. Minimum rating, it's a string, great. We'll have to look at that later. What's ID? ID is an Apex ID as well. Effectively, so what I'm doing here, right, is we're just throwing as many attributes as we can. For status, we need to see, hold on, status. So open, presumably it's always going to be open, right? Let's see, can I see 28? Is that open? It's open. 27, let's see if we can find fulfilled. Okay, so we found one that's fulfilled. So it's basically this string, but all uppercase, it looks like. Well, maybe, let's see. Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable. So what we're going to do is status, I'm going to say string length, 64, minimum length, 3. Type is going to either be, let's see what the types we have. So, oops. Commodity shipping, commodity buying, and commodity selling. I'm gonna guess. Let's see. Commodity selling. Let's look at another one. Commodity Nope, that's an empty one, empty one, empty one. And commodity. Nope. Empty one, empty one, empty one. Okay, so it's commodity selling, commodity buying, commodity shipping. Okay, so those are the options. SH. So what's the string length of this guy? This guy is somewhere around here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Let's say 20. String length 20, minimum length 3. I mean, I could do like, I could be more strict. You know what? We're going to be more strict. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do public override. Yep, that guy. And we're going to do if, so private static list string valid, what is it, type. We're going to do commodity shipping, commodity buying, selling. And what we're going to do is we're going to go if not valid types contains type errors.add context has an invalid type specified. Type specified. Basically, this is just the error for the validation step. Okay, so minimum rating. Let's see. So there's pending. Is there A, B, C? Let's see. How do we not have one with A? Are you serious? F. Okay, so it's pending. Okay, so some other things. You know what? Just be a little paranoid here. Status is uppercase. Same with type. So then this one, minimum rating is going to be string length, and it's going to be pending. So PE 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be 7 minimum length of 1. Yeah. And then we're gonna do private static list string valid ratings pending F, so A, B, C, D, F. Oops. Is it rating? What did I say it was? Minimum rating. Context as an invalid rating, minimum rating specified. So the idea with this, right, is like, A, we want to prevent situations where people, well, where there's like garbage payloads, right, like garbage data, and B, like, hey, if the game has been updated, there's a new rating, there's a new blah, right? And we want to know, we want it to fail. So that's why we're doing this validation. Let's see what else. Is there anything here? Market ID, cargo volume. This looks legit now. This looks fine. So, okay, so now we have a payload. Okay. For this payload, we need a model. Right, so going back to this, we have the raw data but we need to like use this raw data in the controller to generate the model in the database, right? To basically have representation of it in the database. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to database, model, and then we're going to do local markets, ads, local market ad. Okay, so same deal, we do iValidation. And I'm already thinking of this. We need to pull this out and put it in the constants. So we need to do this. We're going to do public list of valid local market types. So we're going to rename this guy. Rename local market valid types. Oh. List of valid ratings. And then now, if I have to go back here, I have to do constants.local market valid types, and then constants.valid ratings. So, because I'm going to be using that in the model. Okay, so we have the model here, local market ad, and for the model, I'm going to bring up the currency one as an example as well. Oh, that's the payload. FX. Okay, so you can see this from the docs. You can see all of this stuff, like what it represents, but I'm going to kind of briefly go over it here. So I'm going to pull, what am I going to pull aside? I'm going to pull this payload, not that one, not that. Where did the payload go? Here. I'm going to put this on a separate screen. I'm going to reference it. So, yeah. So what we're going to do here is a couple things. We're going to do, first we're going to add the key, right? The key is public string local market ad ID, right? So this is the database key. This is going to be unique. So identity means it generates it when the row is inserted, so it automatically like increments a number. None is we specify it. So since this is an Apex ID, and it is on the other screen here, where is it? It's this guy, right? So it's this guy right here. This ID is the 32 character ID of the local market ad, or the local market. Or is it? So that's the local. Let's see what it is, actually. Let me take it back. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Oh, we have it here. Let's see if that shows up anywhere. So local market ID. Yeah, it is. It's local market ID, not ID. So ID, so just to be clear here, so you can see, local market ID is the actual 32 character Apex ID for the local market. The ID is the Apex ID for the ad. Yeah, gets damn confusing. Okay, so going back here. So we have key, Apex ID, database generated, great. Okay, so we have local market ID. So this is the key of the database. It's capital D. I don't care that much. Okay, so I'm going to do, next I'm going to do public string natural ID. And this is a natural ID. Oops. Yep. And because I'm going to allow users to query on this, I'm going to add it as an index. It is, so what else can I do? I think there's is unique. I don't want is unique to be set, so I'm just going to do that. So we have that. Okay. All right, so there's that. We have, let's do, what else do we want to list? So we have status. I don't think we really care about status because it's always going to be open, right? Yeah, status we don't care about because if it's picked up or closed or fulfilled, we really don't care. So I'm going to skip status. So we have local market ID. So let's do public double car weight double volume. And again, we need to do this guy. I'm copying it from the other side. Okay. We have creator. Yeah, we want creator. So creator is going to have. So let's do public string creator ID. Public string creator name. Public string creator code. So we're going to do this for name. ID is an Apex ID. Code is a code, which is that. Just gonna put you know what? Let me pull it over here so you can see what I'm looking at, I guess. So we have origin, destination, address is the current address, quantity. So this can sometimes vary. Material and amount can sometimes be null, I believe. So let's see. This one doesn't have shipping. Shipping, nope. Shipping, nope. 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 Okay, so shipping, we don't care about the address. So quantity is going to be null, as I predicted there. So quantity is nullable. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to do that. It basically says, hey, this can be null. So don't. So it, like the thing is, what'll end up happening is if you run validation on this, and you don't have this nullable, it's going to assume it has to be non-null, and if it's non-null, it will fail, right? It'll fail validation. So this is like, hey, you can actually assign null to this guy. That's what that effectively means. Is there any other options here? Okay, so this is nullable. So we're gonna do. What's this complaining about? Oh, let's do that. So creator code, creator name, creator ID should always be valid. Weight and volume should always be valid. Natural ID. Okay, all these should be fine. So quantity. So let's see. Actually, I need to put the type, right? Yeah. So let's put that up higher. Add type. Yeah, let's just call it type. And this always has to be set. Oh. Can you hear me this entire time? Great. Oh well. I'm using the wrong input device. That's okay. I'm going to switch this right now. It's going to be a little weird. How do I change that? Okay. Okay, so that should be a little bit... Yep. Can you hear that? That should be a little bit better. Okay. Yeah. I'll have to snip that. It's fine. Okay. So now that we have type, I need to copy all these over. Okay, sorry about the clicking there. I have to mute before I cough. I don't want to hurt your ears. Quantity. Okay, so quantity is Apex. Okay, so we're going to do material. I'm going to do material ticker. And I think that's the only thing we care about. And this is nullable. So I don't want to set that. Material
is the ticker is this guy. Wait, is that redundant? Yep, that is redundant. That's okay. I'm going to clean that up. Why not? Apex ID, that's redundant. Okay, cool. So this is a ticker. And then, what is it? What else did we have? Amount. Okay, material amount. And this is nullable as well. I'm just going to do max value here because I don't want to hard code some value and have somebody break it at some point by just listing a ton of PE. Okay, so we got that. Let's go back here. Price. Okay, so yeah, this is actually always present, and that can you do? You could this can be a double. Can't it be? Let's see. Yeah, you should be able to. Let's try it actually. I throw in local market. I'm right there actually. Post ad. One. Let's do like buying it for 0.01. Let's see. Can I do that? Does that show up? It does. So that's actually a double. Neat. I gotta fix that. So that's an existing bug. Okay, so going back here. So this is actually a double, so let's change that. Let's do like that. Okay, so that's been fixed. So material amount. Okay, so we have the material ticker, material amount, and then we have double payment or cost. What did we call this? Price? Price. Do price, and we'll do currency. Maybe price is not the right word. What do they call it? Yeah, let's just do price. It's fine. What string currency? And that's a currency code. Okay, so back here we have advice. Public int fulfillment days. Range 1 to 100. So you'll notice that I'm kind of like doing a mapping, right? Like advice is fulfillment days. So creation time, sure, let's do that. Public long creation time. And that is a timestamp. I need to add this as a validation. So let's go ahead and do that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a side step here, and we're going to make a new attribute. We're going to go apex timestamp attribute. Yep. And we're going to look at the FX ticker one, just for an example here for a brief moment. I'll go attribute to indicate that the provided long is a valid timestamp. And we're going to do inherits. So yeah, I want this. It's going to be on a property. Can't have multiple. It inherits from attribute, and we have a default constructor. Okay, so now we go down to validation extensions. Okay, so yep. tr as that if blah not equal nil, and we're going to do run apex timestamp validation prop value ref errors context. And I'm going to go to this guy. I hit F12 on that, by the way, if you want that. I'm just going to copy this because it's going to be identical, basically, but it's going to be apex timestamp validation on the provided long. And this time it's long. So if prop value not equal null, and then I want to go back to this guy. I want to get these. If prop value, I'm going to replace that. I can put this in line actually. Okay, so yeah, so if FIOAPI is still running, I don't know, 67 years from now, 77 years from now, we'll have to fix this. So that's basically it. So now what we have now is we have apex timestamp. So we should be able to just do apex timestamp. There we go. And I don't have to worry about all this. Timestamp. Oh, right. I don't actually want that. Crap. Whoops. I actually want this to be a date time. Oh well, that's fine. We went through creating an attribute, a validation attribute, which is neat. Non-nullable. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so we actually want the date time. Is it date time? Let's see. What am I doing? Am I doing date time offset? Is that what I'm doing now? Nope. Date time. Yep. Okay, so let's go back to this. Local market add. Okay, so we have creation time and then we have expiry. Do we care about ID? So this is the add ID, local market ID. You know what? Let's do that as well. So index name of local market ID. And we're going to do local market ID. So we can query by a local market ID as well. Expertise. Minimum rating, we want that. So we want public string minimum rating. And what we're going to actually do here, instead of 7, we're going to do enforce a length of 1. So pending will become P. What else? Oh yeah, we have origin destination, don't we? Yeah. So let's do. We're just gonna do natural ID. I don't really care about much else. I don't think anyone else does either. Natural ID. See, cargo weight we did, local market ID we got, natural ID we got, status we don't care about, creator we got, type we got, Address of this ad, don't care. Quantity, price, we got. I want to make sure that price is what we think it is. Let's see, price. Let's use shipping. Oops. Does it come with price? It does. Okay, so that's neat. Okay. Okay, I think that basically does everything that has everything we need. Yeah, okay, so that has everything we need for now. What you need to do now is we need to go here. Oh yeah, I gotta close that. But we need to do cd FIOAPI, and then we do add migration.bat. I'm gonna do add local markets ads. So what I'm gonna do is add a migration. What a migration is? Oh crap! Oh, cancel, cancel, cancel. I forgot one step. Gotta go to the context. I just do it alphabetical because why not? But local market add, local market ads. So anything added here as like a DB set of this is going to be, DB set is essentially make a table and this is the schema, right? This class is each field in this class, or each member of this class, like that is a column. And now since I added it here, I'm going to run this command, and what it's going to do is it's going to create a migration. A migration is effectively a upgrade and a downgrade path, and we failed. Okay, neat. Let's see. Okay, so double to int. Oh, yeah, this is what I was saying. We broke something else, which is fine. Traded is definitely a double. Yeah, it has to be a double. So that's going to actually change another migration, or another part of, okay, string to long. Oh, this is string validations. Interesting. Okay, so I need to fix that. Where's this getting called from? Gotta do else if just long prop fail run long validation on prop info. This is kind of more quote-unquote advanced, but so long prop value equals obj as long, and then we do this. So it's a lot of copy pasta, unfortunately. We're going to iterate through all of the attributes. Obj may be null here. Oh, right. Duh. Iterated through all the attributes, and if we get an apex timestamp, then we're going to run the validation. Okay. Great. So that should be fixed. Lot size amount. I'm just going to say that's a double as well. Oh, I forgot to fix the other one. What was it? Traded. Yeah. This is for the other payload, but if it's broken, we'll have to fix it differently. But request never used. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now let's actually generate the schema or the migration, and I'll show you what it looks like so you can kind of see. Yeah, I know, whatever. Migrations. And we'll go to the SQLite one. So we have something called add local market ads now. So This is the, hey, we modified traded and lot size amount on in the table. So it's saying, hey, when we're upgrading, change it to be a real, and it was an integer. Real is being double effectively, and then the reverse will be the case for change it to be an integer from a real. This is for downgrading. You'll see how it's saying, hey, create this table called local market ads, and here's all the data on it, right? And it's like, all right, here's the primary key, create an index, right? Because this is all kind of just like this is an ORM, right? I think that's what it's called, ORM. But yeah, so that's what it generated there. Okay, now we're finally ready to write tests. Okay, so we have the sample payloads here. Local market. I created these. It's these guys. Okay. Local market, and it's copy paste that. That. Okay. Let's go to, and we're going to start closing a bunch of these, the currency tests. All right. So we're going to do public async task put local market ads. We're going to start with that. Fact basically says, hey, this should be run, test priority 0. This should be run first. And then I'm going to do another one just so we're going to see get local market ads. Fact, test priority 1. Thank you, autocomplete, whatever you are. And let's build, well, here, yeah, let's build, just to make sure. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go to View, Test Explorer here. And you'll see, hey, look, they showed up. And if I hit Run, it should just be like, yep, it's fine. Yeah, because there's nothing in there yet. All right, so in order to put data down, you need an account. So let's do this. Make account. And then test files, directory, get files, to list, assert not empty test files, and we're going to grab the first test file like this does. Test files equals test files. That skip the first one and then convert the rest to a list. And then we're going to do var local market data JSON serializer dot deserialize payloads dot local market add. And then we're going to do file dot read all text. Yep. Okay, so we have that. We're going to do assert, whoops, not null local market data, and we're going to do assert.true local market data dot passes validation. So this is where we put the validation bit to the test, right? So let's build. I am kind of, I never expect it to work the first time. It might, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do is put, let's go to debug, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's obviously not null. So it's kind of parsing it. You can see the body. It's got a bunch of ads. Great. Let's see if it passed validation. Holy crap, it did. I can't believe it. Yep. Okay, sweet. You know what? Just to be safe, what we're going to do is we're going to do test files for each test file. Var test local market data, and we're going to do this. Oh, excuse me. I'm a little under the weather here. So let's see if this passes. Basically, we're going to validate every single payload. Yep, okay, cool. I expected it to fail. So, now, because it doesn't handle for each iterations very well, we're going to do for each in a normal for loop, well, quote-unquote normal. Test file in test files. We're going to essentially do the exact same thing, but we're going to replace that with test file. And where it fails, we should be able to see. Let's see. Debug. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Okay, I guess that doesn't work. Passes validation. And we're going to do condition not passes validation. Oh, crap. That's not what I wanted to do. That's not what I wanted to do at all. Hit F5 instead of test. Let's see where it dies. Okay, so this guy. Payload, message, payload, body. So if we go to the output, it should tell us why. Oh, cargo weight, cargo volume is less than the minimum. And origin is null. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what the test file is. This is 2027 941.760. This guy. So this is where we kind of have to like dig through and see what the hell's going on. So body of 3. So it's going to be 0, 1, 2. This is the third one right here. So it's a buying commodity 1. So body origin is null. Why is origin null? Is it not even there? Oh, of course origin is null. It's a buy order. The cargo weight is also null. Okay, so cargo weight, cargo volume, origin, destination can all be null. So that needs to be fixed. Okay. So, going back to this guy. Question mark. Cargo weight and volume can be null. Okay. So now that that's changed, I need to change the, what do you call it, the payload. Cargo volume. What was it again? It was the origin destination. So now that we've done this, I actually have to run add migration again, right? So I'm going to do local market, origin, destination, weight, volume can be null. So I'm add a new migration, and you're going to see it's like, hey, it's going to add nullable, basically, to all of those columns in the database, the migration. Let's see. Nullable, yeah. Right? That's all it's doing. It's basically making it nullable. Okay. So let's try that again. So now, in theory, that should be fine. It should never hit a breakpoint. Well, famous last words. Okay, so yeah, now I succeeded. Okay. So we have our data that is working, right? Now, what I need to do is I'm going to clean this up a little. Excuse me, sorry. Coughing. Alright, so actually what I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip all this, and I'm going to do var test file in test. Oh, I still want the first test file. Okay, so what we're going to do is test not logged in. So you need to be logged in order to push data. That's just how this works. So test not logged in and read only API key. So we're going to do request new request client HP method dot put, and we are doing local market. What does this do? Get read def. Okay, so we're actually explicitly making sure. Okay, yeah. So await request assert enforce write. What this does is it actually creates a new account for you. Gets a read API key, and then tries to call it and make sure that it's forbidden. So that's what that's actually doing. Next thing we're going to do is same thing here, right? Test hydration timeout. So occasionally what ends up happening is, hydration timeouts happen in the game and the data is kind of garbage, right? And what it's represented by is this string. It's going to be hydration timeout, and then it's going to be like the Apex ID with a close bracket. So what we do is we effectively short circuit it. If any payload has that string in it, it just doesn't take it, which has a kind of downside in that if you type in hydration timeout space open bracket in chat, it won't come through. But that's fine, right? Like we can probably fix that later, right? So let's see, what do we have here? I want to change the string. I want to change probably like the user creator. So I want to change their creator name. Let's see. Previous creator name equals local market data dot. Oh wait, that's not what we wanted. That dot payload dot message dot payload dot creator body. Let's grab the first one. Name. Okay, great. And now we're going to replace this bad boy with controller filters dot hydration timeout filter dot hydration timeout string. Create a new request. And then, so we're setting the payload, and we're going to assert, we're going to get the no result response async, and we're going to assert that we actually got a hydration timeout. And what this does is it's not expecting a bad request. We just return OK in the case of hydration timeout. We basically just throw it away. We make sure it's not null, and then the header for the hydration timeout is present. Yep. Now let's restore it. So we're going to do this previous creator name. Next, we're going to test the bed payload. So var prev ID, we're going to just grab local market data payload message payload bot. Do we want body? Can we get something else? Is there anything else? No, body. First ID. Let's just make it like 5, right? Whatever. Basically, just make an ID, make something bad in the payload. We're going to do assert. Oh, right. I need to do this. Oops. Gotta do this. Let's make it bad. We're going to assert that it's invalid. So it doesn't pass validation. And then we're going to throw it through local market data. So what I'm doing kind of here is I'm kind of like mapping from here to here. Basically, I'm kind of doing the same exact thing. Add request. And then I'm going to do previous ID. So restore it. Now we're going to test an actual success, right? So this should work. And now we have these guys. So it's passing validation. And then what I'm going to do is request set payload test local market data await request. Oh, wait, what's going on here? It's not happy. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Get no result async and request assert OK. And we don't need to do this await anymore because we have already done an await somewhere else. Okay, so now let's see. This should succeed. I'm gonna mute myself while I cough again. Okay, so it's not succeeding because we don't actually have the controller made yet. So now it's time to make the controller. The controller is basically the endpoint on the server. So we're going to do local market, and same deal here. I'm going to grab the where'd it go? Am I blind? FX controller. That's the one. Okay, I'm going to boilerplate everything. API controller, route. This is local market this time. Whoops. And I want to make this controller. Alright, so we're going to do public async task iAction results put local market add. So what we're going to do is it takes the body payloads dot local market dot path local market add, and I think we're just going to call it local market add data. Wait task dot completed task, and we're going to return OK. That's just the get it to compile first. It is complaining about stuff. So we're going to do HTTP put, meaning, so put with an empty quotes is basically, this is effectively api.nar.net/local market. If I put like something like, what can we do instead? I'm trying to think of an example. Right, that's core base building. So if I did something like put ads or something, right? It would be this. That's what it would map to. But because we don't have anything, it's just going to be that. So that's what the put is. Like HTTP put. What did I change here? Did I do something? I deleted a space. Okay, so we have an hydration timeout filter. Okay. And it looks like I need to put these in the global using or something later, but whatever. Authorize. So in order to use this guy, you need to be user right. And these are the documentation codes. And these are pretty generic, so that should be fine. So it puts the local market, or the path local market add payload. The payload, and then OK on success. If I build, Control-Shift-B, and that builds. Okay, so now we're going to do list string errors. If not, local market add data dot validate ref errors, return bad request errors. Var data equals local market data payload dot message dot payload. Okay, so now we should have a bunch of bodies here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do well, first and foremost, we're going to do list of local market ad. Local market ads equals new. And now we're going to do for each var add in data.body. Is body a list? What is body again? Yeah, it's a list of ads. We're going to do local market add lm add, we'll say. And then this is where we do local market ads.add lm add. Yep, confusing, so great. So now we need to populate every entry of this guy. So I'm going to put this over here. Yeah, this is where having a second monitor helps, but I'll leave it. I can't leave it floating. Where's my mouse? There it is. Sure, we'll do the triple. I don't need this right now, actually, so I'm going to put it right here. So now we're going to do lm add.localMarketID equals add. What is it? So add ID is just ID. And because I don't want to type that all the time, I'm going to do that. Local market ID is add.local market ID. Natural ID equals add.address dot lines dot last dot entity dot natural ID. So to explain that guy, that's just something I know. Let's go here. So there is a bunch of lines. It's in order, right? So it's system followed by location. Right? So in this case, it'd be system followed by planet. That's just something I know. Okay. So what else? Type. Okay, so lmadd.type equals add.type. Great. Dot weight equals add dot weight. This can be null, which is perfect. Volume add dot cargo volume. Not price. Creator ID add dot creator dot ID. Creator name is next. And it's auto-completing for me. Creator code. Beautiful. Dot material ticker equals add dot material. What is it? Quantity. So material can be null. So okay. So yeah, that. So quantity can be null. So lmadd dot material amount equals add dot quantity. Nope, amount. Isn't it just amount? Yep. Price dot amount. Add dot currency equals add dot price dot currency. Fulfillment days. This is advice. I remember this. Add dot advice. Minimum rating equals add dot minimum rating. So we have a special case here. So if minimum rating is equal to pending, change it to P. And otherwise, just use the existing string, which is going to be A through F. Or is U? What if it's U? Can you have, let's think about this. Let's say you have a trial account, you get a code, you downgrade. No, you can't. Okay, I take it back. That's only for the user. You can't actually set an ad to be you. So never mind. So lmad.creation time equals add.create creation time timestamp. So I think I need to do oh wait, no, there's some extension. Where did I put it? It's somewhere. No, no. Yeah, how do I convert? I don't think I have anything like that yet. Maybe I don't. I swear I did. Let's see. Custom attribute string extensions. No, it's not that. What I'm trying to do is convert a long to a date time. I think we have that in FIORust. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm pulling up an old project here. I think it's in utils. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so that's what we got there. So I need to, I'm going to make something here. Make an extension. It's going to be so public static class, and we got so public static long to epoch. No, I don't want that. I want, well, I do want that actually too. This date time, and we're just gonna copy pasta here, and then public static date time from Unix time, this long Unix time. We're gonna do this. All right. Convert Unix time ms since epoch to date time ms since epoch long and date time object. Sure. Okay, so date time. So we're gonna do from Unix time. That's what we're gonna do. From Unix time. Done. Neat. So expiry. I want to add expiry equals add dot expiry dot timestamp dot from Unix time. lm add dot origin natural ID equals add dot origin. Is it just origin? Wait, why am I? Yep. Lines dot last dot natural ID. So origin can be null. Destination natural ID. Okay. So what we're going to do here is, for good measure, if not lm dot validate ref errors, return bad request errors. So we're going to test every single one, and then what else? Let's go back here. Nope, this one. Okay, so now we're going to actually write it to the database. So using var writer db access get writer, and this is where we're going to do the upsert. We're just going to do a giant upsert range. However, there is a problem with this. We need to delete everything that is... We need to delete and then add, effectively. So, because we're in this block, we have a single transaction. So we're going to actually do something a little different than here. As a matter of fact, this is broken, actually, now I think about it, because it doesn't update. So I need to do the same thing over there. So if something is fulfilled, or an order is fulfilled in the FX, it won't clear it. So we need to do that. So we're going to do this over here first. So what we're going to do is we're going to do writer.db.localMarketAds where LMA where LMA dot local market ID. Well, first we're going to do, okay, so I'm going to do local market ID. Okay, 1 second. I gotta. Back. Okay, so. Okay, so let's see. Let's say well, first we gotta handle the case, right? We need to handle the case where there is nothing here. So let's see if data.body.count equals 0, or any, I should say. We're just going to return OK. Okay, so now we have something. So I can guarantee we have a first. So we need to do local market ads.first.local market ID. So get all of these, and then we're going to do delete async, I think. I think that's the thing. Yeah. So I need to effectively delete all of the ads. And then now I'm going to do await writer.db.localMarketAds.add range async. And I'm going to do local market ads. And I believe that's it. And I have to do the same thing over here, actually. I got to do await writer.db.fx where. I have to actually do this as well, so I need to go if data. Oh yeah, no, this is individual entries, so that's fine. I think. Let me see. Yes, FX ID. Where FX ID equals FX. Let's see, what is it? I delete these guys. So I'm cleaning up as we go here, and then I'm going to add range instead, and I don't have to worry about upserting this stuff. I'm going to put them on new lines, though, just because I like it. Okay, I'll have to verify that this works correctly. But, okay, so now that we have that, that should be fine. Let's see. Let's build it first, make sure it works. I'm sure I forgot something, but we'll see. I'm going to put a breakpoint here, I'm going to put a breakpoint here, and I'm going to hit debug. Okay, so we hit a bad request, and the errors we have are... Okay, that's expected, actually, because we're expecting a bad result in that case, right? everything else went. It went through. It did it. So everything is expected. So it's pushing all this data now. So now we need to test getting it. And we don't need an account for this one. So let's go. We don't need, so let's go to get broker data. We don't have to test that. Okay, so we're going to do request equals new request client. This time it's a get, a local market. So my question is, I think we're going to do this a little, we're going to stick to this, we're going to be a little simple here. We're going to do crap. I need to find a specific one. So what we're going to do is do test files. Nope, we're going to do this. Okay, test files. Our first test file equals test files dot first, and then we're going to do this, and we are going to say that we need to pass in local market data dot payload dot message. Okay, let's do var lm natural ID local market data dot payload dot message dot payload dot address dot body 0 dot address last that lines at last natural ID entity dot natural ID. Mouthful. So I'm going to say, hey, this is the API for this, at least for the sake of this one right here. Yeah. And I think we're going to do, okay, so we're going to do var results equals await request, get response async. And this is where we do list of local market add, which is a model. Request.assert. Okay. Assert.not null results. Okay, and then we're gonna do some other stuff here. Request equals new request client HP method get local markets lm natural ID. We're going to do include buys equals false and include cells equals false. So essentially we're going to assume that we are getting only shipping ads. Yeah, let's see. Just to be clear, I think the first one actually has shipping ads. Let's see. Yeah, so this one only has shipping ads. Result, assert OK, assert dot, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do results for each results, and I'm going to make sure each result is shipping. Results dot type equals, what was it again? Local market shipping. Commodity shipping. What is this complaint about? That cannot be, okay. Assert.not null results. Okay, so the idea being, hey, I'm going to have include buys, include sells, and include shipments. And that's going to be the kind of API that we have. So let's try this again. Public async task I action results get local market ads. We're gonna do bool. I think what was it? Currency does this, right? Nope. No. FX controller include. Okay, so here's the kind of format it does. So first of all, foremost, we're gonna do HTTP get. Okay, we're going to do allow anonymous. We're going to cache the results for 10 minutes as well here. And Swagger response is model.localMarketAd. Okay, and this guy does from query name equals include buys. And we're going to default it to true. Basically assume we get everything. Let's copy the same thing here. This equals true. Okay, so we have that. Retrieves LM data as. Oh, right. I wanted it to be. Actually, I wanted it to be the natural ID here. So I'm going to look for an example of that. I could Google it, but let's just do it this way. Building ticker, it's like that. So you just put it in the braces. And it's the first parameter then. Okay, so let's see. LM planet or local market natural ID. String local market natural ID. If we should show buys, if we should show sells, if we should emit, that's the right word, shipments. Success. And there's only an okay. So actually I can just say okay. Okay, so there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do list of model.localMarketAd. Looks like the model is redundant, so we don't need that. Results. And then we're going to do using var reader equals db access.getReader. So LM query equals reader.db.localMarketAds as queryable. And so if we're including buys, I should say this, if not including buys, LM query equals LM query dot where LMA dot type not equals commodity buys. Buying, I think, right? Is that what we said? Buying, selling, shipping. That's one line. If not include sells, LM query equals LM query dot where LMA not equals selling. If not include shipments. So if somebody decides to put all of these to false and they get 0 results and are surprised, I don't know what to tell them. Alright, so now that we have that, we also do a where LMA.naturalID equals local market natural ID. And then we're going to do results. Yeah, that. Okay, so what is this complaining about? Oh, wait. Oh, to list async. That's what I want to do there. So to explain a little bit here, sorry, I haven't been, but basically, whenever you have a DB context, like a DB set, it won't evaluate it. So this just kind of like builds up the query right here, where you're running wheres, um, until you do toList or first or last or whatever. Basically, as soon as you grab the object, that's when it actually executes the query. So all of this, nothing happens, right? It's just building up a query. Okay, so let's see what else. I think that's it. Let's go back to the test. Okay, and you know what? Just for the sake of, let's do request equals new request. I mentioned this earlier, so we might as well test it out. Local markets, lm natural ID, include buys equals false, and include sells equals false, and include shipments equals false. So in this case, we'd expect no results, right? Assert.empty results. So let's try this out. I'm going to run it on the entire grouping. If I do that, you're going to notice it's going to do the put first, then the get. And that worked. Just for the sake of this, assert.notEmpty results. I just want to make sure. Whoops. I can't really guarantee this. How do I stop that? Not empty failure. So I can't guarantee this because I need like a good example, because like the order in which the ads come could vary. So let's try like ant. Is this all ads from ant? No, this is the origin. I don't want the origin. I don't want destination. I want address. Ant. Yeah, I guess this is from ant. Let's try ant. Let's see. In theory, that should work. Oh, ant won't work. Duh, because you can't have buyer cells on ant. So let's grab another one. What's another one that's good? Nope. Wait. Are all these ant? There's 2 ants in a row? There we go. Let's just use this one, whatever this is. Address. Let's do Etherwind. Oh, that's a good point. Do we want to support... Okay, for now we're not going to bother. We could support searching by name as well, right? Like if you do local market / Etherwind, we should support that. But for now, we're just going to skip that for the sake of this example here. So let's go back to that test here. So now we should have some buys or sells or something. Do we not have shipments on this place? Oh man, that's so frustrating. Ship. No, we have some shipments. Okay, so what's going on here? So this is where we go to the controller. Oh, duh, it's right here. And we hit debug. Okay, that's expected. Okay, so now we have KW8688C, true, true, true. natural ID. Let's see, what are the results? Okay, so we have 0 ads for that. What is going on there? Okay, let's see. Oh, this is the add natural ID, isn't it? Did I do this wrong? No. Where is that int, by the way? Yeah, I need to do the add natural ID. I totally forgot about that guy. Yep, this guy. And just so I know, where's the controller? How do we put in the natural ID? What is that guy? Yeah, okay. So I need to do okay, public int add natural ID. And what did we say it was? Int max value. So now, here's the thing, right? Like, this is where it would make sense to document what each of these things stand for in the summary, because it will show up on the Swagger documentation. But I'm just, pushing ahead here for the sake of this example. But you can see, like, the hell that is, dealing with all the payload shit, and that is literally the hardest bit, right? Like, writing the controller is really not hard. As you can see, it's tiny in comparison to dealing with all this other stuff. Okay. Excuse me. So now let's figure out what's going on here. Where was I? Debug. I don't... Oh, right. I wanted to put a... I don't care about that. Okay, so... Local market ads. Whoops. Okay, so... What I wanted to do is I wanted to do KW833C, right? Let's see. I'm trying to get my bearings again. So I want condition. I want local market ads of 0 dot natural ID equals that. So I want to break when we hit that, and we did. Okay, so we have 8. Okay, so origin natural ID. Okay, perfect. So local market ads. So why don't we have these? Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to pull out, I got to actually download this, DB browser SQLite. I have a new PC here, so I have to do this. Come on. 64-bit Windows. And this is where I pull up FIOAPI, and what is useful here is this is not the guy. Bin debug .NET 7. Where are you? Oh, right, it might be an integration. are you? There you are. So, that has been downloaded. Yeah, I know it's safe. Don't care about shortcuts. Don't care. Fine. Let's close that guy. Really? Are you not showing up now? Did I just screw myself over? Oh my gosh. Where did it go? I screwed myself over by not putting a shortcut. No, I don't know where it is. Alright, let's find it. The old-fashioned way. There. Okay, so I'm going to pop this guy here. Let's see what it wrote. Browse data. Local market ads. And there's nothing. Oh! Definitely gotta clean this up now. Okay, so what I need to do here is I need to go back to the project and do something very, very simple, which is writer.db.save changes async. So yeah, when you do an upsert, you don't need to do this because something stupid complicated, but with an add range, you absolutely need to do that. db.save changes async. Okay, so now let's try this again. So what should happen, I want to close that so it doesn't have it sitting there. Alright, let's see. Uh-oh, what happened? Internal server error. No such. Oh, yep, I have to do migration because it doesn't know what that is. Local market, add natural ID. And we'll try it again. So let's run it. Okay, so interesting. Assert.empty. Oh, right. What is empty? Local market. Okay, so we're asserting that which bit is empty? 119. Right here. How are those? How is that happening? Right, where's the local market controller? I gotta rename this. Local market controller. Okay, so include shipments, include cells. Alright, let's try this. Debug. The first one should work as we expect. Okay. The second one should be false, false, false. Oh, did I spell shipments wrong or something? No. What? Oh, this one. Let's see. No, that's correct. Alright, so the next one should be false, false, false. Unless it's not commodity shipment, it's something else. Like it's shipments. It's instead of shipments, it's shipping. That's why. Okay, and this is why tests are a thing. Okay. So all these should be false, and then we should get 0 results back here. And all tests should pass. Hooray! Let's run all of them together here, just so I can make sure FX is working correctly. Okay, so currency is broken. What did I do? Put broker data. 77. Passes validation. Something didn't pass validation. So let's see. Like I said, I broke stuff because I changed the payloads and stuff. If I go to output, value 5. What? I mean, we don't want that to succeed. Let's go back up here. Oh, it's true. Duh. I want to do not that. Not B data passes validation. Okay. Alright, so now we got a false. Traded amount is less than the minimum. Okay, data, payload, so it's price, traded, amount is 0. That should be allowed. Amount, traded, amount. Right. Okay, so that's fine. But I need to go back to the database model now. I'm jumping around like crazy. I apologize. Traded could be 0. So can this. So can this. If you have no data whatsoever, this could be 0. Okay, so let's try that again. Oh, yeah, I don't have to actually worry about that because this doesn't change anything on the database. That's just validation. Let's try it again. Perfect. Okay, let's run all the tests once more just to make sure. All those are running, internal tests, and we should be good to check in or commit. Okay, so I know that was a long effing time, nearly 2 hours just for a single endpoint, but that is basically the difficulty here, right? It's a lot of just managing, hey, what specifically died, or what specific payload data are we verifying, and what do we expect it to be, etc. Don't hesitate to chime in and ask questions. The FX one is a little bit more complicated in that it has this thing called a virtual list. What this is like a foreign table. Like you can basically, it's a separate table, but it comes along with the FX if you include it. I think I go over all of that in database. Where is it? Right here, right? So yeah, if the model is a sub-object, right, like you can have sub-objects come along. But all that's covered here. The controller stuff is covered here, pretty in depth, at least I think so. And testing is covered here a little bit, and validation, all the validation stuff is here. Hope that was helpful. I have to edit this and clean it up still, but yep,